You alright lads, this is the Geordie Jedi doing my next game review. Saints Row 4. A brilliantly funny game. It's got a brilliant storyline, graphics are decent, gameplay is pretty good. But the real reason you play this is for the fun. It is a funny game to play. There's a couple of cult Easter egg jokes almost. You know, it takes a little bit of the mick out of certain games, Mass Effect being one of them, and it just plays. It's got a brilliant voice actor, in my opinion. It's the voice actor I pick all the time, which is Nolan North, who's, you know, for those of you who know who he is, you'll understand why he's a brilliant voice actor. And for those of you who don't know who he is, search him on IMDb and you'll see just how many video games and also TV shows and movies he's been in. Although he's only been in a couple of movies actually, but he's been in loads of TV shows. He was in Star Trek Into Darkness actually. He played one of the guys in the USS Vengeance, one of the skeleton crew. He was one of the skeleton crew, so he's beginning to get more and more famous these days. Anyways, graphics, pretty good. They're not stellar, they're not revolutionary. They're more or less the same as Saints Row the 3rd, however, that's not a bad thing. The graphics were alright, Saints Row the 3rd, so no problems there. You won't complain about the graphics, they're just not amazing either. Gameplay, Violation had to obviously change the gameplay to incorporate superpowers. You know, you never had superpowers before, obviously. I mean, some cheats gave you a bit of super strength, but that was about it. You know, they had to incorporate superpowers, so they've had to change the gameplay a bit. You can still use guns. If you choose solely to use guns, then that's your choice. They don't force you to use superpowers if you don't want to. You can play the whole game without superpowers if you have to. But, you know, obviously, if you have superpowers, you're going to use them. You're not going to be an idiot and not use superpowers when you're given them. Now, voice acting, like I said, Nolan North is pretty good. Well, he's brilliant, but I've already mentioned him. The voice actor who plays the antagonist in this one, the main villain, does a really, really good job as well. He quotes Shakespeare repeatedly, but not to the point when you don't understand him. I mean, I personally know Shakespeare well. Not personally, but I mean, I've read Shakespeare, I know the stories, I know how they speak and that kind of thing. But even people who don't will understand what he means, you know, to be or not to be is included. It's that kind of thing. Then, the bad point. Now, there aren't many bad points, really. One bad point which I've noticed is that apart from the main antagonist, all the other enemies you fight, you know, guns are all generic. They're not funny. Apart from him, there's no one else really to fight who will be of any interest here. You know, it's boring to the enemies themselves. Fighting them can be obviously fun because you've got superpowers, but you know, when they chat to each other, which you hear now and again, they're not particularly funny, which is a bit of a shame. The second bad point. This is really a bad point depending on what you wanted from Saints Row the 4th. Compared to Saints Row 2, it's not gang warfare anymore. Saints Row the 3rd had a bit of gang warfare, but it still moved away from Saints Row 2, which is what a lot of people wanted. And then the Saints Row 4 went far away from gang warfare and gang. It tried to go mainstream, which is both a shame and a good thing, you know. I mean, personally, I love this game, but I also wouldn't mind, say, Saints Row 5 to have gang warfare back, to fight in the gangs, to fight the gangs. build up your hideout again. Customization of the hideout's a big thing which I'd like to see. So Saints Row 5, hopefully we'll get it, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, a real fun good point which I haven't mentioned yet is the inclusion of music at certain points. Now Saints Row have been pretty good for what music they put in, same as GTA. They've put in, you know, interesting music. You know, like Welcome to the Jungle, Guns N' Roses was in GTA San Andreas, I believe. In Saints Row, the second of Saints Row 2 rather, it was Europe Final Countdown among others. In this game, at one point you're flying a spaceship. It plays Hadaway, What Is Love. It was a one-hit wonder, and it's a decent song. But you know, it's fun to be flying a ship while listening to that. And then at a moment when you have to be the hero and you know you're doing something a bit crazy, it plays Stan Bush, The Touch. Which again, it's action, it's fun action scene, but it's fun action. You know, they could have played rock songs, they could have played the Rolling Stones, they didn't. They decided, you know, it's meant to be fun. Right at the start, another really good bit of music was Aerosmith, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Another bit when you're being a hero, but you're being like a self-sacrificing kind of hero. It plays that Aerosmith, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, which is really brilliant as well. Right, so that's the end of the review. What the fuck? Fuck. Bastard. Anyways, apart from that interruption, it's been the Geordie Jedi. Leave a like if you want, subscribe if you want. Game, 8 out of 10. Pretty good, I'd suggest buying it. May the Force be with you.